hear me, I got my microphone on. Yeah, I guess there's really no way to check it. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another lovely episode of the Brandon Bonanza Show. Today, I wanted to pull a card, and, I'm just hanging out in nature here. It's really beautiful. There's these birds going crazy, and hopefully they'll grace us with their presence again. And so I hope everyone's doing well. I know there's some, it's just like a crazy time, but I feel like it's always a crazy time once you're aware of the magic that's in this universe. And that's what this card pull is about. But I'm going to light the sacred tobacco before we begin. Remember, go to leafhomely.com, everybody. Leaf Homely if you want your organic and non-organic tobacco leaves. So we're going to pull a card from the Aleister Crowley deck. All right. Amazing. All right, so this is the deck. There we go. You can see it better in the sunlight. See the light of the sun. This is the larger version. I highly recommend this one. It's great to see all the detail. It's made by U.S. Games out of Stanford, Connecticut. U.S. Game Systems Incorporated. Thumbs up to those guys. They make a lot of great tarot decks. All the Rider Waite and all that stuff. Rider Waite! All right, so we're going to shuffle up these cards. And as I do, I'm just going to talk about, like I said, it does seem like a really crazy time. All this stuff's happening. People are losing their minds, right? Everyone's yelling at each other. I think you could take this, though. It's just cycles that happen. If you look at all of humanity, all of men and women as one collective organism in a way, even of a collective consciousness, if you think of yourself and how you have bad days and bad weeks and good days and good weeks and stuff, think about everybody. Not that everyone's having a bad day. Listen, I'm having a great day, but just everybody going through a little bit of resistance, shall we say. And, if you're not, if you're going through it unconsciously, it could be rough. That's all I'm trying to say. If you think about it. All right, so I'm going to shuffle up these cards and see what card we can get, and we'll talk about it. And I'll talk about it. The intention today of this card is, what's going on? What's going on in the world, in the realm at large? But really, you can look at it as what you should be doing. Maybe, I don't know. What do I know? What do I know? I don't know much, I tell you. All right, this is the card. Oh, look at that card, the Lust. This is the Strength card. Usually in most decks, Strength is number 8, but in this deck would be number 11. What a great card. Let me see if I could. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, you get that. There's a crystal hanging. So, amazing, right? Lust. You guys seen it backwards. Number, trust me, it's 11. Looks like a 9, maybe for you guys. I don't know if maybe it could switch. No, I think that just switches sides. Let me enhance my video, guys. Oh, yeah, retouch it. Just kidding. Turn that off. All right. So does it do anything? Look at the years fade away, everybody. All right. So this card, great card, though. And this really does embody, because if you're not, what's up, Quiet Sparky Bear? I'm assuming you can hear me, which is great. Shout out to pulled this card. This is the Strength card, and I was really I came with the intention of, what's going on in the realm. In the Strength card right now, there's a lot of strong things going on. There's a lot of resistance in the realm. You see this lady, though, the way she's embodying it, she's just laying back, right? This is not for kids, everybody. She's laid back, and she has the reins in her hand, if you could see them right there. But she has like a delicate kind of thing, just laid back. She looks like Snoop Dogg, right? She's like rolling down the street, carrying this crazy red thing in my left hand, sipping on gin and juice. Maybe that's where she gets the gin and juice. I don't know. She's laid back, though. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. Laid back. So I feel like in these times, it's kind of like you just go with the flow. You just lay back. You be strong. You channel that inner strength that you have. Think about the times that you needed to be strong in your life and you were. Think about the times when you needed to be strong in your life and you weren't. Think about how terribly you felt after. Use that feeling instead of using it for guilt and just getting stuck in cycles and going around in circles. You can use that bad feeling inside for something positive, something good. You can use it, could it be, as fuel for your next decision. Well, let's get a little clarity, shall we? As we puff a little more of this tobacco. Let's get some clarity. Look at the card on the top. What I did, I shuffled the deck, pulled one out randomly from the middle. We'll look at the one on the top. The Knight of Discs. Now, this card has been following me all over my life. Now, it's a great card. I really love this. I've drawn parts of it before. It's really cool. If you guys have this, I would suggest checking out some interesting things going on in his helmet. But let's look at it overall. We don't have time to dissect the card fully. Now, he's hanging out in the wheat. The horse kind of looks like a snake. Also, he's kind of part of this horse, so it gives it these centaur vibes off, but not exactly. You know, it's like, but he's such a part of his horse that he's just, I think it's symbolizing action. I like he's in black armor, you know. He's using his shadow as an armor in a way, maybe, you know. Yeah, I got my mind on my line and my line on my mind. That's right, Chris. You tell him. And this guy, same kind of thing. It's another rider, too. I like how we have two people. So there's a lot of action going on. And usually the top card, I talk about how in a reading. If you want a reading, by the way, hit me up, everybody. morelawsmoreproblems.com. That's the website. Just leave a comment. I'll find you. Or go to my website. But anyway, so the card on top usually represents the path forward. Not exactly the future. It's not like a doom and gloom thing, right? And I'm using these light things. It's my own effect, guys. I just hung a crystal from my mirror. Anyway, the path forward. So it's really about what we're going to do. Now, the Knight of Discs is about the masculine, and it's about mastery of the masculine. So it's a masculine in motion. And discs, what do discs represent? They represent the realm. And I'm like, what's going on in the realm? So I think it's a time to move forward to get strong in your masculine. If you're a man or a woman, it's to, obviously you want to have a good balance between masculine and feminine, but it's maybe a time to work on the masculine or check the masculine or check the link with your daddy. You know, I've talked about recently how I just found out, I thought my daddy wasn't my daddy. My daddy is different. I got a different daddy. I didn't even know. So, you know, I'm using that, and that's where the work is, right? You know, all these crazy things and inadequacies I thought I had my whole life. No, it's just because, you know, I was being lied to. My daddy wasn't my dad, but it's cool. It's not like, you know, I'm not a victim. But now that we know, we can move forward. Making a mess. All right, anyway, the bottom card, everybody. This is another great card, the 9 of Cups. It says happiness on it. It's a 9. It's all these cups, and they're just supporting each other. You see water or this golden liquid, right? It's not even water. It's like golden sunshine, which really water is just so amazing. I mean, you think about how amazing it is in this realm that we have water and what it represents. So this is the chief card. Yeah, there is a 10 of Cups, but the 10 is really about a completion of the cycle. It's the end of the movie. It's Gandalf and Frodo and Galadriel getting into the ship at the end of Lord of the Rings, the very end, and sailing over. That's a 10. The 9, this is more about a climax. This is, you know, like Frodo destroying the ring kind of thing, but not with Cups. It's different. It's about emotions and feelings, and the fact that it was on the bottom. This is the root of the situation. You could say it's the past. It's what led to it. It's what caused it, but it's also the root. And sometimes you have to go and fix the root. You have to work on that root. But we have the 9 here, the 9 of Cups in that root position, in that, you could even say, like I said, past position. It's a good card. For the realm, I think it's kind of like you can use the idea of how the world could it be is perfect. It's perfect. in a way, it could be viewed because of all the strife and craziness that one can see out there when they look. Maybe it just needs to happen to work it out. Maybe there's, it's like a still pond. Somebody threw a rock into it, and now you got all these waves. And then we were born, and we're like, man, this is crazy. We got all these waves, and then 2025 happened. And like, did somebody throw the moon into the lake? What is going on right now, right? But you can surf those waves. That's what I'm saying. It's about not being a victim. It's about looking around and seeing the omens. And I found this really cool shady spot to park. And when I opened the sunroof, the sun came right on my face. I mean, it's just like another sign. But let's go back to strength. They call it lust in this card. Crowley, it's lust backwards. Why lust? Right? Because I feel like one of the strongest battles we have to overcome in this realm is it has to do with procreation and sex, because it's so tied in. Think of a rabbit or any animal and or like a cat, when a cat's in heat, right? It just goes crazy. We, as humans, we don't have cycles when we go into heat the way we're manifested in this realm right now, the way we exist. We can either be constantly in heat or never in heat or some, so that's one of those things where I feel like that's why Crowley talked about it. And that's why he even moved this card to this position, because it's really about force of will and that strength to overcome. It's not always lust. Sometimes it's crack. Sometimes it's the booze. It's the sauce that pulls you in, right? But it's about that force of will inside and really making a decision. And it's kind of it's like when you do it till you're done and you just get disgusted with your own behavior in a way and you want to end it. And so you use this force of will to stop just satisfying your needs all the time. I'm sorry, not your needs, your desires. You gotta take care of your needs. It's more about stop trying to just chase your desires around, and you figure out that's not the way, and you overcome it. And when you do, I think this is what it's all about. You end up like this lady, that's probably why they picture her naked. She's probably a whore. This lady was just on the corner, not even just giving it away. And then she had a big, maybe she took some mushrooms or whatever. She just had a near-death experience. And she's like, what am I doing in my life? I'm just sleeping with these random strangers, ruining my field, And again, there's no judgments here, because I feel like you have to do it till you're done. That's what I'm saying. She's out there doing it. Something happened and she was done. And what happened? She did some work and she got on that lion. She had that strength the whole time, that many-faced lion. She got on it and she's riding it. Instead of being attacked by this lion, instead of being run over by this lion, you can even look at this lion in the many faces as the collective consciousness or collective unconscious. Probably be a better way to do it. And sometimes we just get beat down by it and it feels like everything's attacking us and we're just in this place and we can't see which way's up. It's like an avalanche happened and we're just lost in the snow. Where do we go? What do we even know? Well, my friends, I'm here to tell you that if you're watching this video, you're already where you need to be. You already won. The struggle is over. Take a victory lap. And why do I say that? From an egoic place, because I'm so great, and if you're watching me, you won? No. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this because if you're into this stuff and tarot and self-work and you want to make yourself a better person, you already won. And now what I would tell you, what helped me a bunch is to stop living in the symbolic reality of, oh, this is what I need to do next, and this is what self-work looks like, and I'm such a great meditator. No. Because, yeah, that could be your path, whatever. I'm not here to tell you. But what I am saying is you could be beating yourself up. You could be like, I need to meditate more. Why don't I meditate? Or, why did I get angry? I thought I was over that. Or why does my family trigger me? I thought I was past that. I thought I did all this work. What the hell? And you get all mad at yourself and pissed off, right? Does this sound familiar? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not necessary. That's what the strength card is all about, overcoming all that stuff internally, making friends with that voice in your head, or at least a little bit of peace, and saying, hey, voice in my head, thank you for being so crazy and making me overthink every single aspect of my life, but I think I got it from here. I realized, little voice in my head, you were just trying to keep me safe in a time when it was crazy outside, in a time when you put on almost any screen, when you turned it on and hit play, it was just craziness coming at you. And what did you do? Instead of succumb to the craziness, you took the time to work on yourself. You took the time to watch a show like this, where we talk about tarot and aspects of self-work. And you were like, you know what? I know it's hell out there, but how can I use this crazy hell to make myself better? And since you did that, I say that you deserve a victory lap. You deserve to pat yourself on the back. And this is the common thing I'm saying. And, you know, I'm really thinking maybe just changing my channel into this common theme of take it easy on yourself. Maybe it's the message I need to hear right now. Maybe it's a message I heard and really helped me a lot and still helping me. I don't know, because again, and I say this all the time, thank you guys obviously for tuning in and watching, but I'm just talking to myself. I do this for me, for the self-love. Screw you guys. You guys suck. Just kidding. You guys are amazing. It's a little acts like this of self-love when I go live and talk about this really help me. And the whole projecting joke, that's kind of just you guys get, if you're into this stuff, you know about projection. And technically, am I even talking to you guys? If this whole realm is just energy, if everything you can point to, if this coffee mug, if you get a microscope and zoom into it enough, you'll see it's just energy. If that's the case for everything in this realm or on this planet, however you view it, wouldn't it be true that we're all connected, right? I think I lost my point. Let me drink a little bit of coffee and I'll get the fire back. But I think that's where people go wrong with materialism. We're so steeped in materialism, they kind of forget what it means that we're all connected. It sounds like the first time I heard it, I'm like, yeah, I guess, you know, but that's kind of woo-woo, Brandon. We got to keep it grounded in the physical, which is true. We are having a physical experience. So I'm not telling you to say, oh, hey, we're all one. Let me go jump into traffic and let me merge. No, you have to keep your, whatever, you don't have to, but it's wise to keep your bearings grounded. Anyway, I guess I'll catch that train of thought. It's this whole concept of us all being one. I don't know. But anyway, you guys, you took the time to work on yourself. And my message really is to just tell you that you made it already. You're already here. There really is nothing to do. The precious jewel is already in your hand, my dear listener. What we need to know now and embody. I mean, you don't need to know nothing, all right? I don't care. I don't care what you do. It's your life, right? I'm not a guru. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm the Roo Goo. Guys, what do you call a kangaroo who's an expert on slime? He's a guru. So he's the guru of goo. I don't know. But what I know it might sound very incoherent, and I might look like a crazy man over here with this message, but could it be that it's all perfect? And the problem was, somewhere along the way, you know, we were children playing, and somewhere along the way, something happened to us, and we were just like, oh man, I'm a fucking victim now, right? And it's fine, I get it. Some crazy stuff probably happened. Sorry, I'm just checking something. You know, we all go through trauma, and even as a child, something that an adult would, you know, they would scoff at. Oh, what do you mean? You didn't get your sweets when you wanted them, you know, or whatever it was. You didn't get that milk in the time. Your mom was 5 minutes late, but for you, it could have been an eternity, and you could have been like, am I going to starve and die? And then, so who knows? Somewhere along the way, some kind of trauma happened, and you were convinced that you weren't perfect. You were convinced that you had to plan everything so that terrible thing didn't happen again. I think we're breaking ground here. There's nothing new under the sun. I mean, especially me, I'm not that new. And I am new. It's all at one thing. But anyway, really, it's not like this is a new concept. People talk about it a lot. You know, you have trauma when you're a child. And what happens is, you're like, oh, this is fine. I'm fine. I'll be fine. And you go inside, you build walls, you put up walls. You're like, all right, I guess I just can't rely on other people anymore. I got to just ice them out, and I got to rely on myself now. But who is yourself? You're just stuck in the small aspect of this whole creation when you could be enjoying all of it. You could be it all, get it all, and know it all. And I'm not telling you I'm like one of these people who believes that, oh, you got to meditate until you're enlightened and have a samadhi experience. No, you don't have to do that. What I'm talking about is just getting a better frame of mind every day, just talking to yourself better, just having a better experience when you wake up, instead of going to bed like, this is crazy, It's more about, well, everything that was supposed to happen happened today, because if you're someone who believes in God, and I am, you can call him Krishna, you can call him Allah, you could call him Jesus Christ, you could call him a spaghetti monster for all I care. If you believe in a higher power, then wouldn't it make sense that this higher power has a plan that we're fitting into? And maybe the reason we can't see the whole plan is because when we don't see it, we're tricked, and we get to learn these lessons, because for us, it's real, we're tricked. It's like Santa Claus. It's like once you find out, guys, hang on a second. If you have kids in the room, once you find out Santa Claus isn't real, the whole game changes. You're just like, all right, the magic is gone. You're like, well, it's just my dad, and I gotta live cookies, and he doesn't eat cookies. I want the cookies. Now he's just an excuse to eat more of my cookies. You get all this victim narrative at like 7 or 12 or 5 or whenever you are. At 21, when I found out, it's like Christmas loses its magic. But does it? Does it have to? Does anything have to really lose its magic? That's what happened to me. I found out that, I was this crazy. Let's take a pause for the cause. I was not crazy. See how the self-talk comes out? Crazy in a fun way, maybe, but that's not what I was trying to say. I had this worldview where I would go to hell, right? And then, if I didn't live exactly how I was supposed to, and so I came across this information, and I found out that a lot of what I believed was based on an older thing that's based on the stars. I'm like, oh, it's all just mind control. That's the conclusion I came to. And I thought we were just being controlled. So I was like, oh, it's all BS. It's all Brandon Smith. It's all bullshit. And I went more toward like an atheistic leaning, kind of like that. And then, I've told the story before, and then I kind of got into meditation and all this stuff, and I got back into a more spiritual lens on the world. But I'll tell you, though, this didn't hit me till recently, that if I really do believe in God, in every moment, I should just be like thankful for him, no matter what's happening. As the tiger is gnawing off my arm, I'm like, thank you, God. I must not have needed that arm, or whatever it is. And I know that probably sounds really crazy. Oh, I got to go, everybody. I know that sounds crazy, but I hope you enjoyed it. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I had such a great time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I hope you got something out of it. Go to morelaws.com for more. And as soon as I figure out, yes, and we'll see you later. Remember, everybody, morelawsmoreproblems.com. Take